being the primary ball handler, will we kind of see that again Saturday?
What was that?
The first matchup, you kind of had KO as the primary ball handler playing the one against Alabama. Will we kind of see that again Saturday?
I mean, he played backup minutes at the one with Tahad, but Tahad was still out there as the primary point guard. So the rotation will kind of stay the same that it's been over the last couple games.
Speaking of that rotation, what have you liked about having Elijah in the starting group? What kind of led to that decision, and what have you liked about that group, particularly in that LSU game?
Yeah, just the efficiency of the lineup that we had starting for the previous 7 or 8 games was just not very good. So always looking for different ways and different lineups. So I kind of looked through which lineups were the best together, and the one that we have starting right now analytically has been really solid on both ends of the floor, and I thought it showed in the LSU game.
Steven, I think the first matchup was their second and 8 in a row for Alabama. Just what have you seen in Alabama since playing him the last time? Just what kind of sticks out on film?
I mean, obviously they shoot the ball at an incredibly high level. They're multiple defensively, and they have a lot of guys that can just make plays. And every time teams break down on the defensive end, they make you pay for it. And they just play pretty fearless out there on the offensive end with a lot of confidence, and it shows. And they've been really good since Bediako's been out of the lineup, and they've been really good.
Steven, in the first game, you talked about the first 18 minutes. You guys defended really, really well. What stood out about that stretch? I know they hit those threes to kind of change it there, but how much can y'all draw back on from the first matchup?
Yeah, that's the plan. To look at the things we did well, try and do more of those, and look at the things that they made us pay for, and try to not do those.
You mentioned that you guys really wouldn't talk about tournament that much. Obviously, it's one game at a time, and now you only have one game left in the regular season. But what have you kind of seen from the team this week? Maybe getting a little bit of wind back in their sails with that LSU game, because I know it was tough for you guys to have to have so many losses.
Yeah, they were great. LSU game, they bounced back and played like they had something to play for, and that's what we got to continue to do. Had a good practice yesterday. Need another good one today, and obviously need a great effort on Saturday. To beat a really good team.
Defensively, how much did you feel like the effort, like the intensity? I know you said LSU, you might not be able to do the same stuff all the time, but the physicality and that intensity, how much did you see that step up against LSU from maybe compared to the last few games?
Yeah, it was great. I thought our activity was, much better. We had 11 turnovers for us in the first half, and I thought that just had everything to do with, guys executing some of the intricacies of the scout, and I thought they made a lot of plays. Todd had 4 steals in the first half. Thought we did a good job with our framing. So did a lot of things. Executed our switches, and I thought we looked like we did earlier in January when we were defending at a much higher level. So got to continue to build off of that.
You mentioned on Tiger Talk last night you thought Tuesday was the most in control Tahad had played at point guard in some time. How do you guys encourage that? Is it trying to play more sped up offensively? Is it as simple as, hey, other guys are making shots, so now he's got higher assist numbers? What did you make of that performance, and how you can kind of stoke that going into Saturday?
Yeah, I think it was everybody. It wasn't just Tahad. I thought we did a good job of running our initial actions, and if we didn't have anything off that action, we got into a breakdown, and that was what we did not do against Oklahoma or Ole Miss, and ultimately it showed. And I thought we just did a better job of executing the details of what we try and do offensively, and that's why we had the #1 offensive efficiency game of the year on Tuesday. So we got to bottle some of that up and keep that moving forward, because it obviously worked.
How much of the forcing turnovers is based on the scout and what you do schematically versus what you've talked about, just playing more intentionally? And I guess against Alabama, a team that doesn't turn the ball over a lot, how do you continue that?
Yeah, it has a lot to do with just executing, the things that we're trying to do. But if you execute what you do without great effort and energy, none of it's going to work anyway. So you got to be able to do both. You got to have a mixture of both, and got to execute things that we're trying to do, but then, you know, you gotta make multiple efforts. And I thought we made multiple efforts on Tuesday, and it led to 11 first half turnovers, and we did a good job of scoring. We think we scored 10 points off of turnovers in the first half, so, you know, that's gonna be important in this game. They're gonna get shots up before they turn it over usually, but we gotta do some things defensively to try and disrupt them. And if we can create turnovers, we can get out in transition and run a little bit.
It's been a good last few games for Elijah on offense. He had that big first half against LSU. How much more confidence have you seen him play with on that end of the floor heading in? You know, this is towards the end of his first season at D1. He looks like he's shooting the ball with a lot more confidence, at least.
Yeah, it kind of stems back to the Arkansas game. I said stop being in between and just commit to everything you do. And you know, there was a couple shots in the last two games where, you know, were tough shots, but he committed to them and he made them, and that's how Elijah's got to play. So, you know, I think Elijah offensively has been really good in conference play. He's shown a lot of really good things, and anytime he's full speed and, you know, isn't halfway on certain things, he can be really effective when he plays physically, offensively. He's such a great athlete that, you know, he can just rise over people and finish through contact, shooting the ball from the free throw line well. So, you know, it's been great to see him in his progression, you know, as the year's gone on, and his confidence continue to grow. And I'm glad he's playing well right now because, you know, we're going to continue to need him to play well over this next stretch. So he's been great. Unbelievable teammate, unbelievable player, very coachable, wants to win. He's about all the right things. So, you know, Elijah's been great.
Anything else for Coach?